Hello, I am Burningstone from the Lotro Gamers, the Lotro Wiki of the web, sorry, of YouTube, and I am here with the mounted combat for the Rune-Keeper. I'm going to be showing you all the basics about mounted combat when it comes to using a Rune-Keeper. And some of the things you'll want to do depending on one of the paths that you've chosen as being a Rune-Keeper. For one, I go with, let's just go down to the basics of mounted combat. Mounted combat gives you a second type of horse, which is called a war steed. When you first get your war steed, it will not look like this. I've quested up to 85, gotten tons of reputation with the different areas, and so I got different cosmetics and all that kind of stuff. So it will not look like this. It'll probably just look like this, but without the armor. And the thing that's different about the war steed from your normal steed is it actually has skills. It has skills that you can use off the back of it, and it has its own individual really high health and power. You can name it, and it has an actual speed gauge. You can actually go at certain different speeds. You'll look right down here. Right now I'm going at 0 meters per second. This is my rage right here. This is my speed, health, power, speed right there, gauge wise. So I'm just gonna go to the first level on the gauge, and now you may not be going just as fast on the first gauge. I've updated mine with some traits and all that kind of stuff, so it may not be exactly the same. Anyway, as I was saying, so now I'm just kind of doing a little trot here. I'm doing it 3.8. Let's go to the next one. 8.7, I'm doing a little prance. And the cool thing about the war steed is that it's kind of harder to turn. You don't just automatically turn. It's kind of like a Need for Speed, where the harder you turn, the faster you're going, the harder it is to turn. So I'll go to my next one. Now I'm at 11.2, and I'm doing a tiny little gallop. Just a tiny little gallop. 7.9 is different, and your speed goes up and down depending on how much you turn. And then the full speed right now is 15 normal for me. Now this is a full gallop. It's really hard to turn. Sorry about the lag there. Ooh, real lag. Let's slow down for a second. You'll see it's really hard to turn and get all the way around. It's pretty hard. And that's just pretty much that. And then you've got health, power. Okay, now some of the skills. Here are the basics, okay? I gotta get one more skill here. Okay, here are the basics. You have 3 stances that you can put your rune thing in. They're put in your buffs under you right here. Right now, I am in the discipline of Red Dawn. It is mostly for DPS, increases my critical damage, increases my damage. Okay, and it turns these 3 skills, which are the attacking skills. There's one more, but I don't have it out. It's this one right here. Changes these 3 skills to fire, along the fire path. I'm gonna go ahead, do a short little demonstration here on what the fire stuff looks like. Ooh, real lag. Okay, and you just kind of want to keep on moving and doing slow damage to him. I can get up close. I can start slapping him. Throw sticks. And when I get really up close, I can punch him, I think. Yeah, I punched him. And that's just a basic mountain combat. You may have noticed, I didn't explain rage. Rage right here is the red bar. Yellow bar is your speed, red bar is your rage. As you see, as I'm moving and moving, my rage is getting up higher and higher and higher. And when it gets to the max, any of those rage levels increase the amount of damage you do. Like, I'll use my most powerful one. Yeah, that did 2,000 damage because I had full rage. Sometimes it does 4,000. You can also go against unmounted combat, or unmounted NPCs. See, look at that, punched him. Let's go ahead and we'll do that. Okay, that's kind of the basics. So now for some of the skills. As I was saying, you got 3 stances. The second stance, Discipline Rohirrim. This is the healing stance, or the blue path on the trait line, Benedictions of Peace. And like for red, Cleansing Fires. Okay, this does healing. You can heal other people and their war steeds, or you can heal yourself. See, look at all that health. And there's another healing one right over here. I just put those ones over there because they don't change at all. Okay. And then, also, they have another thing kind of like Affinity. Like, let me go back into Red Dawn. You have what's called a Debate. When you put that, it increases most of the damage, or it can increase the healing that you do. This one also gives me rocks that rotate around me, and if a damage is done to me, it's a 10% chance that, what is it, 1,800 to 2,600 fire damage will be reflected on him. So that's kind of cool. So now back to this one. This would increase the initial healing of my skills, and yeah. So now the last stance is the Rittermark stance, which I've never actually used this one. I don't know what to expect, because I'm a fire Rune-Keeper. Let's go ahead and just use some lightning skills. Some lightning damage. Just kind of does lightning. And then this one is also a lightning damage. Calls down lightning on him. And as you can see, there's another Debate. Debate the land. Puts a little force field, which can reduce the target's speed on 50% chance. So that's not bad. Not bad. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Red Dawn for this. There's also some really good skills like Quick Stop, which lose all fury and it brings them to immediate stop. Like I'll show you, I got full speed. Click on it, stops. This Spur On heads towards the person you're selected on when you use a skill. This breaks through any movement impairing skills. This is a play dead skill, which makes all the enemies not go after you. This is when your war steed is low on power. It makes it so you don't have to cost it. This one I got through a trait. It heals my power on my war steed. Dash puts up, instead of a max of 15 meters per second, it goes up to a max of 16. This forces them to stay at a certain place away from me, and this is Speed of the Herd. Increases my war steed power by 500, and everybody in the fellowship. That is pretty much it. This increases my health on my war steed, just that. Now to go into what you're going to want to know about the war steed UI. You press Shift M to bring this up as default. It shows your different stats, just like a normal character one. You can change your appearance and rotate your guy and add different types of things you'll get along the way while you play. And what's this? Simple tail. You can have different outfits. Okay, now the most important traits. Okay, we have a whole trait tree. You've got normal traits, which increase like agility, strength, which do damage. This accrue like you'll be able to turn quicker, and it contributes to the regeneration vitals. This increases the war steed power, war steed health, and war steed armor. You have the red path, which is for Red Dawn on damage. You have the blue path, which increases stuff for healing. And you have the yellow path that increases stuff for lightning. You can have different trait specs too, which is kind of cool. You can switch between the different trait specs. I'm just going to show you what will happen when you first get your War Steed, because there are 3 different types of War Steed. So let's switch over to trait spec 2. When you have 3 types of War Steeds, you have light, medium, and heavy. I don't know what anybody else has told you guys, but so far what I think I would probably base it off of, and a good way to explain it is choose the type of War Steed on what the best type of armor you can use is. Armor for your character. I'm a Rune-Keeper, I can only use light armor, so I'm using a light War Steed. Some of you, if you're a burglar, a minstrel, or a warden, maybe you'll want to go medium, depending on if you're doing DPS or tanking. It's always up to you. I'm just giving suggestions. And for tanking classes, go heavy. Those that can use heavy armor and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Actually, I'm gonna go back to my normal trait spec, and that is it for the mounted combat. You also have a whole different skill to summon it, and that's pretty much it for the Rune-Keeper mounted combat. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment. Leave them as a comment in the video below, and I will answer every single one of them to the best of my knowledge. Oops. This is Burningstone of the Lotro Gamers, the Lotro Wiki of YouTube, and I'm signing off, and I hope you thought this, was, educational to you, and that maybe you'll get your War Steed soon. So, this is, Burningstone, signing off.